Hello everyone, welcome. My name's Charlie, and today we're hopping back onto the island of Quinoa and playing some more Animal Crossing New Horizons. As we began our 4th month on Quinoa, the biggest goals in my eyes were to open all the co-op stands on Harv's island, start preparing for some heavy decorating by buying items, and work toward completing the museum. Totally in line with that logic, I pretty much immediately squandered 4,000 of my hard-earned bells at the Able Sisters in order to cosplay as like Shizzy McCreepy or whatever from Scooby-Doo Monsters Unleashed. I don't know what crevice that memory came out of, but here we are. Very conveniently though, Red happened to be visiting that day, and the artwork portion of the museum was definitely the one I'd contributed to the least. I've always really struggled to get all the artwork, and in truth I've never actually done it before, but something that I learned on this exact day is that it's possible to visibly tell if the art is fake. With the quaint painting, for instance, the milk coming out of the jug is actually way less than the authentic painting, so you can tell that this one isn't worth buying. Super cool, I did not know that. It turned out that all the paintings for sale that day were fakes, so instead of buying anything, I went and gifted Poppy this gizzard shad sushi costume that I'd gotten from Bill, and I swear to God, I did not expect her to put it on, but it absolutely floored me. After humiliating Poppy, I decided to do responsible adult things like paying off my loan, and I also purchased this Imperial chest from Nooks because it seemed like a very versatile furniture item. My first big building project, and the one I wanted to complete this month, was Marshall's coffee shop, and in order to prepare for it, I began buying lots of items from the Nook catalog and just kind of tossed them on the ground beneath my house for convenience. On my way back from trashing the farmland area, I happened to notice that a villager was camping out on Quinoa that night. Pashmina. Honestly, I thought she was a pretty cute villager, but I was hanging out with one of my friends while recording this, and he was absolutely opposed to me getting her for some reason, so we decided to part ways. It's actually okay though, because we already have Sherb, and I wouldn't really want 2 goats anyway. Like, I want there to be some variation in the villagers, just to keep things spicy. Although I was doing a lot of item purchasing to prepare for my building projects, I also wanted to integrate some crafted items as well, and this garden wagon just really stood out to me. It's so cute! I wasn't really sure where I wanted to put it because Marshall's house decor was the only one I'd really nailed down a concept for, but I spent this day just kind of figuring out decorations for around Fauna's house, and I thought it'd be good to experiment with. The 5th day of the month just so happened to be the fishing tourney, and I figured I'll try it out once, see how it goes. I got 2 fish. 2. That's it. I am fairly certain I wasn't playing with sound or something when I did it my first round, so yeah, that's probably why I was so bad. We'll go with that. I decided to give the tourney another go, partly because of how absolutely embarrassing the first run was, but also because I'd been scrolling through the list of prizes you can trade CJ for, and I found this. The fish pochette. I don't know why, but I fell in love with the fish pochette. I needed the fish pochette, and I spent like 3 real-life hours, not even joking, just doing the fish tourney over and over and trading in my points for swag until I finally got it. Oh my god! The fish pochette! I am so happy! And on top of that, CJ also sent me a letter in the mail the next day with a bronze fish trophy, which made me feel extremely accomplished. This was a bit of a shopping day for me. I won't lie, thoughts about my massive house loan were cast out of mind as I bought a cute little outfit to match my fish pochette and also bought every furniture item from Nooks for good measure. I'd started to realize that buying all the items every single day was probably in my best interest because you never really know what items you might need in the future. And I mean, to be fair, I was getting Nook miles for my hapless spending, so that's always a plus. Before going to bed, I gathered up all the items for Marshall's coffee shop and laid them out around my farm, and for the entire afternoon of day 7, I worked on finishing my first big project. After putting up some walls, making a little dining area and counter space, and laying down paths, I had built Marshall his very own coffee shop, or at least the beginnings of one. I did a whole video on how I built it that you can check out, so I won't talk too long about those specifics, but I was really happy with how it turned out. Because Quinoa is so new, I do have limited items and such, but as time goes on, I plan to add some more cool stuff, refine certain areas, and continue to just make it better and better. And I mean, it's just made easier when my villagers give me awesome items like this tea set. Doesn't seem like much, but customization is limited and I didn't have this color yet, so just let me have it. When I headed into Nooks that afternoon, I saw that there was a desktop PC for sale, and I thought it'd be kind of cute because I could make a little Animal Crossing replica of my real life setup, but then I realized it was 100,000 bells, and I may be bad with money, but I'm not stupid enough to pay that much for such a useless item when I have loans to pay. I also saw that Red was docked on Quinoa for the day, so I headed over there to get another art piece for the museum. Slowly but surely, I will finish that exhibit. And somebody please tell me, in what world is the Starry Night worth 20 times less than a desktop PC? Vincent Van, oh my sweet bippies. One cool thing though is that some art pieces like this Starry Night are always authentic no matter what, so I basically got a freebie to add to the museum. Another thing, small side note, it turns out I am indeed that stupid. I wrote that previous part in earnest, 100% convinced that I hadn't bought the PC, but here I am, caught on film, making one of the stupidest financial choices of my life. It's barely even customizable, there's just really no point, but here I am. It better look really cute when I decorate my bedroom or I'm gonna be furious. The next day just felt like a good day from the start. The golden lighting was beautiful, it made Quinoa look really nice, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that Eloise was considering moving away. This made me very excited because that meant it was dreamy hunting time, and I had collected some tickets, not a lot, but some. Even better than that, I stumbled across this tokonoma in Nooks, and I just had a feeling that it would make the perfect walls for Marshall's coffee shop if I turned it around. Was it 23,000 bells? Yes. Is that overly expensive? Of course, yes. But look at it! It's so perfect! It even has the wooden floor trim on the bottom. I just can't deal with it. Now, to buy, it's like 10 more of these at 23,000 bells a piece. Yeah, easy beans. I started off by just ordering one more because that's kind of all I could afford, and then I went and checked out the villager that was visiting the campsite for the day. Alas, it is just a hamster. Honestly, I wasn't even disappointed because tomorrow was the day of my dreamy hunt, and I had a really good feeling about it. For good luck, I even decided to dress up as Lucky, my absolute favorite villager that I very desperately want to get. After assessing my fossils for the day, I also realized I'd finally collected the final piece I needed of the plesiosaur. I'd actually been secretly collecting them for the entire 4 months because the plesiosaur is my absolute favorite dinosaur and they make me feel very happy, so I'd been wanting to place one outside my house just for fun. Her name is Greta, and I love her. Now, usually I do a bit of a dreamy hunt montage in these videos, but this one was insanely long, like stretching over multiple days. I met so many cool villagers that I'd never even seen before, from submarine alligators to fun monkeys to other familiar and beloved villagers like Kabuki, and I thought it'd be cooler to make a separate dreamy hunting video in which I basically slowly descend into madness. I'm just so passionate about being airborne. He likes my triceps. The villager for a sushi costume. So I will be posting that sometime very soon, but the result of this journey was the lovely villager Julia. She's pretty cute. I like her a moderate amount. I'm not entirely sure what her odds are of staying on Quinoa long term, but for the time being, she's a very pleasant villager and I don't mind her. I know this is going to be incredibly shocking, but I had started to build the habit of visiting Harv's Island every single day. Leif had just opened up his little shop there, and I went to check it out, but he wasn't carrying anything I was interested in, so instead of doing any shopping, I donated the bells to open up Reese and Cyrus's furniture customization. And I honestly think this is going to be a massive game changer for any future decorating projects. Now that I'd finished my first big project, I was starting to think about what I wanted to tackle next, and after stumbling across this tractor in Nooks, I thought that maybe upgrading the farm area could be a pretty good idea. I still had to collect other cool items to use for the build, so it'll probably take a little bit of time, but the tractor is definitely a good start. Also, while I was getting my afternoon coffee at the Roost, this happened. Why am I stuck? What is going on? Oh my god, it's Tommy. Or Timmy. One of the two. I didn't even know this could happen! This is amazing! It was incredible. It brought me so much joy, but it didn't make me quite as happy as the fact that Reese and Cyrus had opened up their shop on Harv's Island. Now that honestly blew my mind. Like, items I'd assumed I couldn't customize, I now could, and I spent probably 40 minutes just looking through all the color options for the items I had. It really opened so many doors for decorating Quinoa, and I got a bunch of great ideas just from looking through all the customization options. I spent a lot of money there, and then immediately after, I went and unlocked Tortimer's co-op because I'm pretty sure it allows you to directly access your home storage, and that is definitely something I'll be wanting to do in the future for customization purposes. Like, just look at how much nicer this tea set looks. I am overjoyed. In line with decorating this farm area, I added a staircase down to where Red docks his boat and started to try and think of a cool way to decorate that little space. I thought of doing a little smuggler's cove, but I realized that's kinda what everyone does, so I'll have to think on it. If you have any ideas for that, definitely let me know too. I'm open to suggestions. After placing all my newly customized items in my house and around the island, I decided that enough was enough. I was so tired of there being random flowers all over the place, and I realized that I'd developed just as bad of a flower obsession on Quinoa as I had on my previous island, but this time was different. Instead of just letting it continue going out of control, I spent the entirety of the evening on day 12 organizing every flower I had into neat rows by color and type. While doing that, Sherb asked me to come up with a new catchphrase for him, and I chose nut because I thought that was funny for some reason, but after hours of painstaking organization, I had finally done it. This area by poppies that used to be filled with flowers, empty. And here are my beautifully ordered rows in all their glory. Having my flowers organized like this looks kinda weird now, but when I start to place them around the island in builds or as little accents along pathways, it'll be much easier to get the types that I want, so I'm looking forward to reaching that point. Day 13 was nowhere near as eventful as the one before, but on my way out of the roost, Brewster gave me a cup and saucer as a gift. Kinda cute. When I visited Red's the next day, I noticed you could also buy furniture items from him, like this scrapbook and lily pad table, which I'd never actually looked at before. Neither of the items that day really piqued my interest though, and all the paintings were fake, so I passed on buying anything. I was super excited to visit Harv's Island afterward because Tortimer had finally finished setting up his little trailer in the co-op. This meant that I had 4 co-op stalls left to unlock, and I decided to go for Red's next because I thought it might make it a bit easier for us to get the paintings and sculptures needed to complete the museum gallery. I was actually about to leave Harv's Island when suddenly I had a brilliant thought. Could I customize my tokonoma? And the answer was an absolute yes. I could change it green, red, or blue, and I was super excited because the pale blue color perfectly fit the vibe I was originally going for with the powder room booths. Like, look at it! It's amazing! The bad part though is that I'd been slowly amassing tokonomas for like 23,000 bells each, and customizing them was only making it a more expensive wall choice, but honestly, I felt like it was totally worth it. Day 15 was actually my 100th active day working on Quinoa, which I thought was kinda cool. And after 100 whole days of playing, I finally learned that you can pick up your mailbox. You can literally just pick it right up and put it in your pocket. What is this sorcery? I had no idea that was possible. I ended up spending a lot of the day on Harv's Island hanging out with Red, buying this painting and getting insanely obsessed with whatever little coupon raffle thing he does. I played it like 10 times in a row and I don't even know what I won, like a magazine, some ice cream cones, maybe a matcha donut. It's all a blur. I just really like collecting things and it's problematic. I also went ahead and unlocked Katrina's co-op so I could get my fortune told, and I was actually super excited to finish unlocking all the shops because it was really fun to look through the stock and buy fun stuff. It's like a little Animal Crossing farmer's market or something. It had been a while since I bought myself a new outfit from the Able sisters, so I decided to do so the next day, and there were actually a lot of really nice pieces of clothing. I, however, chose to ignore all of them and instead dress up as that one picture of Joe Jonas when he was in a grape costume because it's iconic and I love it. Red dress! Fun fact, I actually went to a Jonas Brothers concert a couple years ago and Nick Jonas did not say red dress. He just said nothing. He just stood there. This is the worst moment of my life. Like, what do you think I'm here for? What do you think I paid money for? Now that I was all graped up, it felt like life on Quinoa couldn't get much better. In all honesty though, it had been almost a whole month of ignoring my responsibilities, so I set out to collect all the fruit and produce on Quinoa and sell it for bells. As I was doing so, my good pal Marshall came up to me and taught me a new reaction called showmanship. For some reason, this reaction looks identical to that one celebration pose in Pokemon Ranger. Does anyone else know what I'm talking about? I've been looking for a clip of it to include in this video for days and I just can't find one. I'm like, did I make this up? Like, somebody please tell me I'm not crazy. After finally saving up some more money, I headed to Harv's Island and got a new haircut from Harriet, and I can't tell if it's more of a Stingy from Lazy Town vibe or the housekeeper from Parasite. Either way, I hate it. Katrina's co-op had also finished being built, so I decided to get my fortune read just for fun. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get a bucket dropped on my head. Did anyone else always try to snap a picture of your character right as Katrina concussed you in City Folk? Because that was my favorite thing. Let's talk friendship. With whom shall I define your friendship? Whoa. Oh my god. Definitely Al. I want to know if he's close to moving off the island. I hate looking at his face. Yee! Bucket. Oh. Oh, this is really boring. There's like no juice here at all. Okay, well, that co-op was a waste of 100,000 bells. Although Katrina's stam was a bit useless, it was still kind of fun to see Katrina again, and before heading back to Quinoa, I donated the funds for Sahara's co-op to unlock the rug and flooring store. Early on day 18, I purchased a lovely new addition to my Joe Jonas outfit. The longer I look at this, the more cursed it gets. Even though it was insanely cursed, my villagers didn't seem to mind, and Sherb actually invited me to sit on the bench with him, which was like the cutest thing in the world. But wow. Good lord, those glasses, that is, wow. I figured I should probably keep my distance from the other villagers just out of respect, but as I headed down toward the southern part of the island, I saw this balloon present, and inside the balloon present was a barista uniform. This gave me the idea of gifting it to Marshall so that his outfit could match the coffee shop owner role that he's been given, and it looked really, really good. I also assessed a bunch of fossils and ended up getting a Jeremiah, which I named Jeremiah, and put in front of my house because I thought it was very small and adorable. Now that it was the next day, Sahara's co-op had been completed, so I headed to Harv's Island to check out what she was selling. There was actually some pretty cool stuff, and even though I didn't really know what to do with them yet, I purchased the steampunk flooring and wallpaper, as well as a quaint little mushroom rug just for fun. Then, I headed over to the last gyroid and purchased the final stand for the co-op where Kix will sell shoes and bags. To celebrate fully completing Harv's Island, I got a haircut from Harriet and then immediately regretted said decision. I look like Will from Stranger Things. I hopped onto Quinoa the next evening and did all my usual chores, but nothing all that exciting happened until Marshall asked to come and visit my house. I got this mushroom rug today. I don't know what you guys think of it. I'm kind of a fan. Oh my god, my face. Yeah, that is not the face of a person whose house you want to visit. That is the face of a person that will lock you in their basement forever. Yet, Marshall seemed entirely content. So much so that he actually ended up gifting me his photo, and this was actually the first villager photograph that I'd legally obtained on Quinoa. Not long after gifting it though, he began to severely overstay his welcome, and following the advice of literally every person in the comments of my last video, I tried to just walk out of my house, and this happened. Okay, I'm leaving, and if you don't leave, that's your problem. You're gonna leave me all here by myself. I said, no, I would never. I really don't want to be left alone. Okay, I'm sorry. You're so needy, Marshall. Can you please let me do the things I have to do? Everyone commented being like, oh, you're such a fool. Just walk out the door. Marshall literally just tried to guilt trip me. This is what I was afraid of. I don't want my villagers to hate me or be sad. After another like 20 minutes of idly standing around, I decided enough was enough and tried to leave a second time, and it did actually work, so I guess that's good. I mostly want to know how to prevent them from entering your house in the first place, but I mean, I was willing to take what I could get. Until less than 5 minutes later, he just walked right back in. What does this bed look like? Oh. Oh my god! Every time! You can't even get in! I can't even talk to you! Marshall! I can't... Oh. Oh my god. Early the next morning, I did a bit of shopping, picking up this cool bottle shelf, and also making some improvements to my Joe Jonas outfit. Oh yeah, this outfit just gets better and better every single day. As we were nearing the end of our time on Quinoa this month, I hadn't completed any of the museum, but I had actually successfully finished opening all the co-ops on Harv's Island. Kix was the last one to open up shop, and I thought it'd be cute to buy something from him to celebrate the moment, and what the... I literally can't speak right now. I'm a little shocked by what I am looking at with my eyes, and I wish I could delete it from my eyes. Yeah, really confused with how this pair of shoes made it into the game, but I mean, they're here, and I bought them, so it is what it is, I guess. Oh no, it's so bad. Even though I had these very interesting shoes to match with this very interesting outfit I had on, I still took it upon myself to judge Poppy for wearing the sushi outfit that I gifted her. She's wearing the sushi costume I got her. Look I gave her this like tuna sashimi costume because I just had it in my pocket. And now she's a little piece of sushi. I can't believe it. You would wear that in public, Poppy? We are two different people. I don't know where I got the gall to do that because honestly nothing is worse than this outfit, but I did find it pretty ironic and hilarious. I decided that I didn't want to be wearing that horrendous outfit as I played my last day on Quinoa for the month, so my first stop was at the Able Sisters to get some cute new clothes. I think that over the past couple months, my largest informal goal has been to collect all the fruit hats, and I don't even know how many there are, but I have the strawberry, the grape, and now the pineapple, so one day hopefully I can get them all. I chatted with some of my villagers and almost got killed by wasps not once, but twice, but I'm just too good at bug catching to have that happen. Except the third time. Yeah, there were a lot of wasps. Probably a bad luck day. And honestly, it was the fence that got in my way, so that's not even really my fault. To finish off the final day, I sold all the fruit on the island and used the bells to chip away at my loan. I'd spent over 500,000 bells opening up the co-op shops in the past month, so I didn't end up getting my final loan paid off, but I'm still pretty pleased with all the progress that was made this month, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and if you did, feel free to leave a like or subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you here. Alright, I will see you guys next time. Bye!